Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Beatles update, new finds. This is a bunch of stuff that I've amassed over a period of time, over weeks, because I have to spend just a little at a time, kind of on a tighter budget. But before I begin, there's one thing that I'm going to show that's not really a new find. It's actually, it's something old, but in a way I guess it's a new find as well. I'll explain that. It's this Liverpool box from Liverpool. It's from Spain. Now, this is an old item that's been in my collection for a while. It's a I think it's an 8-disc set. The only reason I'm showing this is because I had sworn that I sold this and I had regretted it because in somebody's video, I'm not sure whose it was off the top of my head now, they were showing this item. I don't know if it was John, Captain Howdy, I can't remember who it was. Somebody had said that there's actually different mixes on some of these songs, or different recordings, which I didn't know. And I had regretted that I had gotten rid of the record set. Turns out I found it. This is one that I did not sell, thank God. So anyway, I still have this. So in a way, this is kind of a new find of an old box that was been in my collection the whole time. Sometimes you don't know what you have or what you've unloaded. Okay, now, first item I want to bring out here that's a really kind of a new thing is this really terrific pickup that I got. It's a live album from Paul McCartney from 1993. It's called Paul is Live. Of course, that being a takeoff on the old Paul is Dead thing. A good title for an album, obvious but still creative at the same time. I was able to get this album courtesy of one of my best friends here on YouTube in the vinyl community, the Beatles community. That's Marv. He goes by the name of Beatle Vinyl 85. And you would think after all this time I've got it right, but geez, I'm not sure if I got that technically right 100%. That name. Sorry, Marv. Marv helped me get this. He had a double copy. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am to have it. This is something that I wanted, but it's been very elusive to me because it's just too damn expensive. But Marv was really cool about this, and he did me a real favor and let me get a hold of this album because I wanted this for a long time. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but I feel like I want to keep on praising Marv. Thanks so much. It means a lot to me. Now, I went to a record fair this past weekend and I showed some albums briefly that I got. This one here I'm not even going to really keep. It's Hear the Beatles Tell All. I don't know what I was thinking. I bought this. It was only $5. I was going to pass it up because I've got this album sealed and I've got a couple of copies of it. The ones I have are not original. They're fake copies, and I don't know why I was thinking this was original. For some reason, the condition of it, the cardboard was a little thicker. I thought maybe this was an original and it was only $5. And then I should have realized, I had an inkling that if it said stereo on the top like that, that it meant it was a counterfeit. And I took a chance anyway, and it's a counterfeit. So I got another counterfeit to my collection. While I was at the fair, came across this. And I bought this solely for the cover and for the wax. It's colored wax. It's a newer bootleg album, Yellow Matter Custard. That's a familiar title of an old counterfeit Beatles record. And, I'm a sucker for a cool cover, nice packaging, and that's the reason I really got it. The stuff that's on here are BBC sessions, stuff that's now been released regularly, by Apple Records. So it's not anything unusual, but I like to have as many copies as I can with nice covers, and this is the disc. As I get it together. It's I would call it clear wax, but it's kind of thick. It's not really see-through. There you have it. And as I say, a combination of having it with this kind of wax, in addition to the very cool cover, made me want to own it. And I had to knock quite a way price-wise in order to get it. You know, I don't have the kind of money to spend on this stuff. I really don't. So I was able to get the guy way down. You know, when I made my record show video, the last one, I forgot to show this album. It was one that I had browsed through. Well, if you look at the video, you'll see me browsing through the Beatles sections, and I browsed through this, but I picked it up and I forgot to show it at the end of the video as a pickup. It's Paul McCartney UBU. And what this is it was a radio show that was created by Paul McCartney in 1995. I don't remember how many installments there were of this. I never really picked up on it. We've got some music. We've got a theme song, UBU theme song. And it's going to be nice to hear this. This is kind of an orangey wax, but it's also got a little bit of black marble in there. I don't know if that shows up well, but trust me, it's there. And I don't know how I forgot to show this. And I'm just reading the back here. The program was aired on the American radio network Westwood One. Material included demos, rehearsals, sound checks, and unreleased recordings of Paul McCartney. Here for the first time were 13 songs never before available on vinyl or CD. All were considered at one time or the other as contenders for albums that never happened, and now, for the first time, it is your chance to hear a McCartney album that never was. So, that's great, you know, and that was probably the best item I picked up at the show, I think. Okay, everything that remains here in this video going to be 7-inch records, but interesting because we have picture sleeves of imports. They're cool picture sleeves. One picture disc, single, and the rest are pretty much rare promo singles. So let's start with this. This is a picture disc. Souvenir of their visit to America. You know, it's got Misery, Taste of Honey, Ask Me Why, and Anna. But then again, you could read it. You know, when you're making the videos, sometimes you think it's not clear. I'm looking at it through a mirror in the back of the camera. Looks like it might not be that clear. But then when I watch the video back, I say, I didn't even need to read them. The titles are plainly visible. Here's something I got back again from my old collection. This is a promotional Beatles promo 45 from 1970, dialogue from the motion picture Let It Be. I just got snippets from the movie. Just talking. You could see the tracks there. I had that in my old original collection and got it back. Here's a green wax copy of George Harrison's My Sweet Lord, but the reason I bought it was because it has the My Sweet Lord 2000 mix on it, and that's interesting, you know, to have. I mean, on a 45 single. I mean, I have it on George's reissue of All Things Must Pass from, I guess, 2000 jukebox single. This is, but it's nice to have it on a 45. Okay, I'm going to go to the picture sleeves. I'll have more non-picture sleeves to show. Okay, we're going to start with this one again. This is something that I had in my original collection from way back in the 70s and 80s, and it sold off, and I got it again. It's a French 45 of George Harrison's My Sweet Lord and Isn't It a Pity. It's got the apple with a star on it. Now here's where it gets difficult because, you know, because I never really look before I make the video. I want to really know, I mean, whether it's from Italy, whether it's from France, and I can't read it, believe it or not, because this is kind of dark. The actual label of the apple here is dark, and I can't read whether it's from Italy. I think these are all Italian. I don't know, or German. Italian, German, France, I don't know. This is the Beatles, The Long and Winding Road. Import picture sleeve, and this is one of the better quality picture sleeves out of the ones I'm going to show, because as I go along the quality is going to deteriorate, and I'll get into that as we go along. I picked up some of these from my record store. Here's another one I used to have in my old collection, but mine was a 70s repress. This is an original, I'm pretty sure. It's from Italy. A Ballad of John and Yoko, An Old Brown Shoe. Even though I think they call it The Old Brown Shoe here on the cover. And the label is apple, but you can see the color there. This is not a very interesting picture sleeve, to say the least. But again, this is the Beatles, Lady Madonna and the Inner Light. Man, I don't want to get these wrong, you know. I think this is also an Italian pressing, you know. I made a record store video, hanging out at the record store, number 18, I think it was. And I was getting on the case of the record store owner saying, man, you know, you have all these Italian Beatles 45s, and when are you going to put them out? Actually, he put these out before I made the video, but I'm saying, you know, I just happened to go in at times when he, you know, he thought I wasn't going to come in, and they were there, you know, instead of putting them out when he knew I was coming. Here's another one from Italy. Oh, I said the quality goes down. You can't really tell when they're in this sleeve, but there's, maybe you can see, there's yellow tape all around here, remnants of yellow tape. The tape has been taken off, but you know, this is why these were very cheap. Okay, here's Michelle and Girl. I believe this is another Italian one. Let me just double. No, I'm sorry. This is Germany. Whew. See, some of these are German. Look, you know, people, some Beatles fans are watching this, going, "Oh my God, he's getting everything wrong." I take the time, man, to look at it. Anyway, Michelle and Girl, and you can see the green Odeon German label. And I hear that my neighbor Screech has just come home, so if you hear any noises, I'm just going to plow through this anyway. It's okay. You might hear him upstairs. You know, he's entitled to do what he wants. Matter of fact, I met him at the Delicatessen, which is just down the block, one morning. We had a nice talk, but I didn't tell him how sometimes he makes noise in my videos. This one broke my heart, this next one, to find this, because this is a picture sleeve that I've been looking for. I'm going to take it out of the plastic for a long time. One of my favorite ones, but when you see, I'm going to like unveil this slowly, because when you see the quality of this, it breaks my heart that it's lacking. Start here. Paperback Writer and Rain. This is from Italy. This is an Italian 45. It's a beautiful picture, but as you get that, look at that ring wear. Oh my, look at that. That really, right in Paul's face. It's an original. I like that Parlophone without the E, and it, you know, but this was really cheap because it was in lousy shape. But the original, what was I going to do? Pass it up for now? I'll take it. So we'll put this one on the side here. Similarly, here's another one, another disc, Parlophone, and it's a common photo, but it's an Italian single, and it's We Can Work It Out and Day Tripper. But as you examine this a little closer, you can see the corner there is kind of messed up. And we have down there, likewise, there's a whole bunch ripped off there. But again, for a cheap price, and I don't have these in any other way, they're originals. For now, they'll have to do. I don't know when I'll come across them again, if ever. Then I happened to look in, I'm going to take this one out of here, a really cheap bin. This is a $2.99 bin. In the $2.99 bin, I found this really tragic looking Italian sleeve. its help. And you can see first the tape all along the top and bottom and side. Really sad. And it's got people's names written on it. You know, things, and a little tear in the back. But you know, I saw it and I said, you know, when am I really going to come across this? I mean, you know, helping I'm down. I mean, you know, you don't really, I'm not going to come across this very often. So I went for it for $2.99. Okay. And that takes care of the picture sleeves. The rest of what I have here are promo 45s for those who are interested in promos of Beatles, solo Beatles, really. Okay, we start out with this one. This is Let 'Em In. Paul McCartney and Wings, or just Wings, 1976. Both sides are stereo on this, apparently. I haven't had time to play them, surprise, surprise, so don't really know if they're going to sound different. This was interesting, I thought. This was a Ringo Starr photograph on both sides. Both sides have photograph on it. It's a promotional single. So that was interesting. Now as we move on to, let's see, a couple of George Harrisons real quickly. This is Crackerbox Palace, same thing. Although on one side here is mono, on one side stereo. We got Crackerbox Palace mono and Crackerbox Palace stereo. That's interesting. I gotta hear what that sounds like. See if there's any difference in mono of that song. Sometimes you hear a different mix and they sound different. That's what's cool about collecting these. This is a double stereo. There's no mono to this. We're getting a little later on in years, 1981, and we have George Harrison all those years ago on both sides, A and B, both stereo. So there was nothing really interesting about that. Now we have an interesting one here. Wings, Good Night Tonight, Columbia, but we got mono on this side. Mono on the other side is stereo. So I wonder if Good Night Tonight sounds any different, the mix on the mono. By the way, these that I'm showing now, these mono, you might have seen, again, in, several videos back, in a road trip video. If you look at me and my friend Anthony on a road trip, record road trip, we went to another record store that had boxes and boxes, dozens and dozens of boxes of these promo 45s. This is where I got them from, and I really haven't had the time or the money to go back and dig through these again. Here's Paul McCartney Coming Up, both sides are stereo, and I'm guessing this is Coming Up, the studio version from the McCartney 2 album, not the live from Glasgow version. And I also have Silly Love Songs, but the Silly Love Songs, both sides are stereo. This one has some writing on it. I like when the DJs in some records, they notate which side is the plug side, which side is the side to play, and which one is not the side to play. So this is a double stereo side. Well, anyway, that's it. Unless I missed anything, and if I missed anything, I'll be glad to show it in the video. Somebody out there, if they're still watching and haven't shut this off yet, who's a regular in the vinyl community, I won't say who unless he wants to introduce himself, has said he might send me a certain 45 sleeve, and I'm kind of looking forward to getting that one. So, you know, I'll reciprocate it. So, it would be nice to get that, and I'll show it in my next update. Thanks everybody for watching. Take care.